Hello viewers, today we want to look at the rules for divisibility. How do you know that a certain number can divide into another number exactly without remainder? Now look at it this way. This is 2. How do you know that 2 can divide a particular number without remainder? Now you look at that number like this one. If the last digit is 0, it means that number can be divided by 2 exactly without remainder. So this one, this is 0 here. This can be divided by 2 exactly without remainder. This also can be divided by 2 without remainder. This also can be divided by 2 without remainder. This also can be divided by 2 without remainder. Also, if the last digit of that number is an even number, that number can be divided by 2. What's an even number? An even number is a number that can be divided by 2 exactly. So look at this. This is the last digit, which is 8. 8 can be divided by 2, and it will leave no remainder. Therefore, this number can be divided by 2. Now, this also is an even number. The last digit here is 4. 4 can be divided by 2. Therefore, this number can be divided by 2 exactly. Now, let's look at another one. We have 8 here. 8 is the last digit here. The last digit here is 8. And 8 can be divided by 2. Therefore, 7,138 can be divided by 2 exactly without remainder. The same thing, this one also can be divided by 2 exactly without remainder. Now, of course, this one are not part. So let's look at the rule for 3. How do you know that a particular number can be divided by 3 exactly without remainder? Now, in that case, if you add all the digits together and you divide by 3, and it can go exactly, that number can be divided by 3. Let's look at this one. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Therefore, this number can be divided by 3 exactly. Now, let's look at this one. What of this? This one cannot be divided by 3 exactly. Let's check. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 5, that's 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Therefore, I am the one that is wrong. This number can be divided exactly by 3. Now, let's look at this one. Can this one be divided exactly by 3? Let's find out. We add all the digits and we divide by 3. 8 plus 3, that's 11. 11 plus 2, that's 13. 13 plus 4, that's 17. 17 plus 1, that's 18. So this number can be divided exactly by 3. What of this? This one cannot be divided by 3. Because if you add all the digits and you divide by 3, it will not go exactly. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 7. 7 divided by 3 is 2, remainder 1. So this one cannot be divided by 3. Let's look at this one. What of this one? 6 plus 3, that's 9. 9 plus 2, that's 11. 11 plus 8, that's 19. So 19 divided by 3, you have remainder. So this cannot be. So you can try the rest. Now let's look at 4. How do you know that a particular number can be divided by 4 exactly without remainder? If the last 2 digits form a number that can be divided by 4, therefore that number can be divided by 4. Now look at it. This is 45. 45 divided by 4, there will be remainder. So this one cannot be. This is 50. 50 divided by 4, there will be remainder. This cannot also be. This is 41. If you divide 41 by 4, there will be remainder. This cannot be. This is 5. If you divide 5 by 4, you will have remainder. This cannot be. This is 28. 28 divided by 4, and that is 7. So this can be divided. This number can be divided by 4. Now look at this. This is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10. Therefore, this can be divided by 4. So you can try the rest. Now let's look at 5. How do you know that a particular number can be divided by 5? Now, if the last digit in that number is 5, it can be divided by 5. Or if the last number or the last digit in that number is 0, it can be divided by 5. For example, this is the last number, which is 5. So this can be divided by 5. This is 0. This can be divided by 5. Now let's look at another one. This is 0. This can be divided by 5. Now this also can be divided by 5. Which other one? Look at this one. Look at this one. This can be divided by 5. This also can be divided by 5. So you can do the rest. Now let's look at 6. How do you know a particular number can be divided by 6 exactly without remainder? The first condition is that the last digit of that number must be an even number. For example, this is an even number. It's an even number because if you divide 8 by 2, it will go exactly. So that's the first condition. The second condition is that if you add all the numbers together and you divide it by 3, it will go exactly. So let's look at this. So this is an even number. That's the first condition. Let's see. Let's now look at the second condition. Add all the numbers together and divide by 3. 8 plus 2, 10. 10 plus 3, 13. 13 plus 6, 19. So this one is not divisible by 6. So let's look at another one. Look at this one. This is an even number. And let's see whether this can be divided by 6. Let's add them together and divide by 3. 4 plus 9, 13. 13 plus 2, 15. 15 plus 1, 16. 16 plus 5, 21. 21 divided by 3, that is 7. So this number is divisible by 6. So let's look at another one. You can look at this one also. This is an even number because this number, which is 8, can be divided by 2 and it will go exactly without remainder. So let's now see whether this can be divided by 6 exactly without remainder. Now add all the digits together and divide by 3. 7 plus 1, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 8, 19. So this one cannot be divided by 6. So this one cannot be divided by 6. So let's look at this one. This is an even number. That's the first condition. The second condition is that if you add all the digits together and divide by 3, it will go exactly. 1 plus 8, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 plus 8, 21. 21 divided by 3, that is 7. So this one can be divided by 6 and it will go exactly. Now let's look at rules for 8. Divisor as 8. How do we know that a particular number can be divided by 8 exactly without remainder? How do you know that a number can be divided by 8? Look at the last 3 digits. Can the last 3 digits be divided by 8 without remainder? This is 5, 4, 5. If you divide this one by 8, there will be remainder. Therefore, this one is not part of it. Now, look at the last 3 digits here. If you divide this last 3 digits by 8, there will be remainder. Now, look at this last 3 digits here. If you divide this last digit by 8, there will be remainder. If you divide 0, 0, 5 by 8, there will be remainder. That is 0, remainder 5. Look at this. If you divide this one, 3, 2, 8, by 8, there won't be remainder. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Therefore, this number can be divided by 8. Now, you can go on just like that. Now, let's now look at 9. How do you know that a particular number is divisible by 9? If you add all the digits together and you divide by 9 and you go exactly, it means 9 can divide that particular number. For example, can we look at this? 1 plus 3, 4. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 plus 5, that's 18. 18 divided by 9, that is 2. Therefore, you can divide this number by 9 and it will go exactly. You can go on like that and try the rest. For 10, how do you know that a number is divisible by 10? Once that number ends with 0, it is divisible by 10. That is, it will leave no remainder. So this is divisible by 10. Then this also is divisible by 10. This also is divisible by 10. And so on and so forth. So this is